hope we go full circle on Jesus.
I might. I really was getting there these past couple days.
We're doing Gnosticism, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is the one.
Right, that was like the
Because-
feel I got when it clicked for me originally. When I first understood like the divine shard thing,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that tracks."
And maybe not even Gnosticism, but this structure, at least.
whatever they're coming out
This
of,
hierarchy of what, like how they have the shit organized. Like this makes
it
sense.
kind of lines up with like Buddhism's reincarnation shit, but it also lines up with like the like realm stack,
Yeah.
like dimensions and shit
Yeah.
like that. I don't know, it just kind of hit.
Also, some of the shit, like, mind you, I read the Apocrypha of John, or whatever that was. And that
And by red, we mean.
yeah. Well, it's short. It's only a page.
Okay.
I got through that. Yeah, that one was okay. The
I'm thinking it's like a Bible book.
No. A lot of these are short. But there's so many of them, like, we don't have time to go through all this shit, so I'm just going off like the cliff notes, all of them. But
I put everything from that Nag Hammadi library that's like all the Gnostic shit. I put all that in Perplexity and said just answer questions based on this.
Exactly. I didn't find them all, but I just like linked everything.
I think I got most of them.
Damn.
If not all.
But when you read those and when you hear how they like describe stuff, it almost like it makes more sense than like the Bible, or it makes more sense. Like it fills up, it ties up the loose ends. You know what I mean?
And then you get like where the Bible was, like they line up some points.
Yeah.
Like they have their overlap. But yeah, this one, obviously
Or
not
just-
like science, but this one feels
No,
more
yeah.
like, yes, this has like
Yeah.
a structure to it.
Yeah. When like some stuff in the Bible, like you read it, or some stuff in any other ones you read it, and it's like, that's a stretch. Like, yeah, I get what you're doing there, but that's kind of a pull.
Mhm.
When like some of this stuff you read and it's like, oh, it's just right there.
That's,
It's
yeah, a lot of
one-
religions
one,
tell
two,
you a
three.
story and it's a metaphor about how shit happened. Versus this, it's like, no, this is like how it happened.
Yeah, it's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got it. The mainstream timeline has it started at 600 to 400 BC. This is when like you get like proto-Gnostic ideas emerged in like Persia and like the Near East, but it was rooted in that Zoroastrian like dualism, so like light versus dark, spirit versus matter. That had that, and then it appears in like Plato's philosophy.
I was getting into that a little bit.
The,
Which his shit kind of is the same thing where it's like, it's almost like philosophy, religion based on like what makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like it has no fluff to it. It is just like, well, this happened,
Yeah.
so we can probably bank on that.
I remember having to read I don't know if it was Plato, but I remember being in a like philosophy class in college and they made us read a bunch of bullshit. And I was like, I don't understand any of this shit. But now I would like to go back and see just like, oh, connect some dots now.
You were but a ignorant boy.
Exactly.
Now you're
Exactly. I wasn't aware.
learned
I wasn't aware
man.
of my nakedness.
Few are.
Few are. And then like
Few possess the gnosis.
the gnosis. On the contrary, in the alternate kind of like esoteric timeline, people say Gnosticism is a pre-flood Atlantean age, like religion, where humanity originally possessed the Geos, Gnosis. Is that how you say that?
Gos.
Gnosis. Gnosis.
GN.
Gnosis. Yes. So when humanity originally possessed the direct knowledge of divine, like this, like after the fall of the flood of the Archons, false rulers or that's like the demiurge. That's when they trap souls in the matter, and the Gnostic kind of like survived through like the mystery schools. That's like the other timeline. They're saying it started in like pre-Atlantean, and then after the flood and everything, it kind of survives in these mystical schools.
So that's like the speculation possibility one.
speculation.
The other one's like based on
Facts.
writings we found.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they say it comes to Sumer in Egypt around 3000. This is through like Hermetic teachings of Thoth, Enoch, Hermes. This is encoded Atlantean wisdom. The Egyptian priest guards the Egyptian priesthood, they guard these secrets. This is like Moses, Akhenaten, and then they adapt like fragments of it into that a 10. This is also kind of follows the Moses was with Akhenaten. I'm kind of on that. That kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I keep seeing stuff that there was no other Exodus in Egypt.
You see the John Levy videos of maps where there's no pyramids?
What?
John Levy has videos where there's no pyramids on these old maps and they don't show up until a certain time.
Are you serious?
And he's like, how recently were they built?
When was that? No, he doesn't have a
Like
date, no.
within 1,000 years or
Of course,
something.
Of course. And they added 1,000, so who knows? That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. Dick.
And then this kind of picks up. And then the esoteric timeline kind of picks up with in the Greek period, which is the mainstream, right? And
See, that type of shit, I understand why black people get upset.
about what?
Like, one could say that there's maybe a little too much complaining, and then everything becomes categorized as bullshit. But some things are valid, where it's like, yeah, we did grow up thinking that the Greeks invented everything, and it's like, well, there's guys like in next door in like the Muslim world that were like inventing math and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like Egypt's building pyramid. Like,
Just don't hear about that.
Greek took a lot, from Egypt directly.
Yeah.
So I get, but
Or
then black people love to claim Egypt like as if it was like not.
Kemet.
They're kind of Arab people there already, let
Ancient
alone
Kemet.
it being Kemet. Yeah,
Yeah.
so who knows?
Well, Kemet's the black people thing, right?
Well, they say it's like the Nubian shit, but it's still like the statues don't have like particular, like they still have those
Yeah.
big ass
And
weird
Nubian,
eyes.
that's more south. That's more like Sudan.
That is a word I just throw around as the
Nubian?
black as hell.
Yeah, that's more
African black.
that's like the fucking head. Like you see, like the Olmec heads. That's almost Nubian.
People still argue about those, and I'm like, I don't know.
What?
I've heard one person sounded legit saying that they're not Africans, but he backed it up with like saying that the people at the time actually looked like that, which then kind of did make sense because they say remember Australia and South America connect and they're the only two places that have that one DNA set. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, if they didn't sail to each other, everyone else would have that DNA. So they must have sailed
like
to
maybe
each other.
all that was connected and those heads are older than we actually think they are.
Because Australia has the Aborigines, so maybe
Yeah.
they got black people mixed with South American people from that way, not from Africa, from Australia. Because there's that
That's
DNA.
interesting. Because that's interesting to think about too. When shit was closer or when shit was connected. I mean, who the fuck knows? That's
Just going
long
far
ago.
back enough, and people did have boats, so now
Yeah. Or there was
we don't
more
have
land.
the boats, and it's like, oh,
Yeah. Or
and-
flood.
the
There's more
Aborigines
land.
do go back far as fuck, and then the Amazon is the other one. So I mean, it is too like ancient as fuck, and people who could survive a cataclysm.
Yeah. Well, that's like the point too. That's like Randall's whole thing is like that's who's gonna survive is the Aboriginal people and then the elite scientists or whatever the fuck. People that know the shit's coming and they got in the bunker.
Yeah,
Which is a great pairing. Because then those people have to go teach the dumb people.
it's the plot of the new Naked Gun movie.
No.
A guy like he
I still gotta watch that.
is good, but yeah, that's like the evil
That's the
plan
plot?
is he's gonna make the world go crazy and basically like chimp out, as they say, and then that way it'll be like a Darwin, only the strong will survive, and then the elite will come out of their bunkers and then they'll breed with like the best of the human race, and then it'll be like the smartest and the best physical.
So that'll be good because it'll be the best of humanity because the strongest survives mixed with the inbred, fucked up elite people.
But who
And
have the bloodline necessary.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in Get Out when they implant themselves, like the old white people implant themselves into the young black body.
Yeah.
They want to reanimate themselves. Reanimate my bloodline. Give it some youth.
How about that cool statue we saw where white people were slaves? Like a fucking...
What? What statue was that?
The big silver one where the black guy had like his hand on a white guy bowing next to him.
A naked... They're both naked.
Yes.
That was fucking crazy, dude.
It's really cool stuff.
No, that was insane. I watched one dude walk into that area of the museum with his girlfriend, and he turned right around, and I saw him laughing. I was like,
That's what I did.
That's good. No, I don't blame you. And we were being respectful. We were making some good remarks, but
To the stuff we liked.
yes.
And then we walked by something someone spent a lifetime on. We're like,
How good was that guy sketching?
how about the one dude going off to that girl? And he was just like, wow, this one's interesting. See the brush stroke.
No, dude, the people in the art museum are almost better than the actual art.
People watching, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the people watching is good. The guards are funny. Like we were saying the other day, fucking, you feel bad, but you hope that they're playing dumb, and that's not just like the maxed out level.
I don't know where that sound's coming from.
It's in that room.
It's like there's an alarm going off
that you're standing in. You walk in this room all day.
Yeah, the dumbest fucks guarding the most priceless shit.
It does seem crazy.
Oh, this is a picture of the Virgin Mary painted in a fresco from 1300.
Was just someone texting?
Some
like,
dumb
I don't
fuck.
know.
Said, man, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
The one thing was gay, but it's still like art or whatever. We walk in, the lady's like, yeah, so if you could just not step on the carpet, it's part of the exhibit. Some monster in there.
I could have been like, what is this? I don't fucking know.
They don't tell us that.
I guard the shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I put my double wide body in front
They
of
said
it.
I'm too dumb to understand like what's happening here.
I'm more of like a numbers guy. I'm not really into art. It's like, numbers guy got you this gig.
No, that is
wearing a blazer.
That is the best gig. I wonder what they pay.
I feel like it might be
half decent.
I feel like it probably Nico
the guards
worked
at our
the
place
Met for a minute, and I think it is probably like they union up good.
Really?
I would imagine it's something where they're like, no, you have to pay people good because it's like
we're guarding expensive stuff,
right?
So they hire some dumb fuck who's gonna be like, don't touch it.
There is a surprising lack of like
awareness.
A guy that knows about art walking around. Not that I'm looking for that. I feel like it'd be super annoying if there was some bitch that was like, yeah, I went to school for this, so I could actually tell you.
They're more keeping to like each other. Because I was picking up a lot of that, of like two people looking at something, both not knowing what it is.
No, but people going in. I'm talking about people working there.
Oh.
Like they don't have anyone working there that's like, hey, I'm around. Like you feel like that would be a thing.
Yeah. That can go either way.
I don't want it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It'd be cool, maybe. Like if you can, like if there was like in the small one downtown, if there was someone
that
walking
one
around,
would be cool.
That'd be cool because you can run into somebody, ask some questions. But like out there, like you're gonna fuck up my buzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna get like two hoity-toity people.
I'm in a flow state, a little fucked up. Like I'm not gonna be able to hold a good conversation right now.
You're gonna take me out. Like I'm in the pocket right now. I'm walking from room to room. Everything's changing from room to room, and then you're gonna assail me and take me out of the pocket.
No, I swear. I was looking at that statue of Shiva, and it was like, and I go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, well, are you feeling this?
When I was getting fucked up, you were like, look at this wall. I'm like, bro, this shit sucks. That's what I'm like. There's like 50 cooler things behind us that I'm like getting lost in. You're like, this wall is great. I'm like,
wall
bro,
was cool. It was a painting.
It was whatever.
It was cool. It was very.
Meanwhile,
very
the
vibrant.
fucking Krishna as a boar is standing behind you, and it's pulling the Mother Earth hand out of the primeval water. And it's got all the gods on his back and stuff. And I was like,
wow, that's big.
Yeah, just touching, getting just a finger on something while no one's looking, being like, yes, absorb that history.
Yeah. I was going to try to touch something, and then that alarm went off.
I touched the sunstone.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nothing went off?
No.
Oh, fucker.
I waited for because there's one lady just pacing. She walked that way. I've played Sly Cooper. I know how to time the pace.
Yeah. That's how I beat the second one?
Yeah.
I'm in the Aboriginal world.
The first level, right? Or no?
Second.
Yeah, because you'd find
I beat
Murray
Octavia.
in Venice.
Yeah.
The Venetian villain.
Yeah. The
Tales
second one is better so far.
The first one's kind of like a halfer.
Yeah. It's got more shit, though, the second one. Like, it's got those bottles. It's got the extra shit. It's got the extra stuff.
It does have bottles.
The second one.
Oh, the game. Oh, not the level. Yeah. Okay. Yes, the second one is better.
Yeah. But, all right, anyways, back to Gnosticism. In 200 to 100 CE, we're back to mainstream. In Alexandria, Egypt, Jewish and Greek thought mixed, producing Hellenistic Judaism and Hermeticism. The Dead Sea Scrolls show similar esoteric strands developing within Judaism. So it kind of like hides in the Jews again. 1st and 2nd century, Gnosticism fully forms as like an independent movement. Various sects appear: the Scythians, the Tartarians, obviously, the Valentinans, and the Basili Deans. This overlaps with early Christianity. Some Gnostics even claim Jesus was a revealer of hidden. Would you call it geos?
It's like Gnosticism,
Gnosis, and not a Messiah. 2nd and 4th century Roman Church starts labeling Gnosticism as heresy. This is where we start seeing people getting hung and murdered. This is when Gnostic groups start going underground. And then we go into the 4th and 6th century. Surviving Gnostic groups merge into Mechanism, Manichaeism. This is like a Persian religion mixing Christianity and Zoroastrianism and Buddhism. I wish I had more time. I was going to look more into these things, but I just had like this outline. And then it's pretty much it. And then it picks up in the 1945 when they find that Nag Hammadi library. But I have their cosmology and their hierarchy. How good is this chart?
Yeah, that was the one I was looking for when I Googled. I found the one on the left, which was decent, but
the one on the right you got to get from this dude's website. You got to buy.
Oh, really?
I didn't buy these, but
I was gonna say I feel like I've seen that on Twitter before.
You could buy a high res version. I screenshotted these like a gentleman. But yeah, no, this one's fucking sick. But they're same thing. They have like the not the triad, the like the Trinity up top. But they have you have the monad up top. This is the supreme being hidden, the source of all power, pure spiritual fullness. The monad as is a monarchy with nothing above it. He who exists as the father, as the godfather of everything, and the invisible one. This is a quote. I'll just read this quote. This is from the Apocrypha of John. The invisible one who is above everything, who exists as incorruption, which is the pure light into which no eye can look. He is the invisible spirit of whom it is not right to think of him as a god or something similar, for he is more than a god, since there is nothing above him. There is no one that lords above him, for he does not exist in something inferior to him, since everything exists in him. For it is who establishes himself, he is eternal, since he does not need anything, for he is total perfection. Isn't that beautiful?
You said they do think of it as a trinity, though?
Yes, when you go into it, kind of. So you have the that's supreme unknowable being. That's God. He creates anons, or anons, Aeons. This is where you start seeing. So the first one he creates is, this is the Divine Mother, the consort of the monad. This is Barbelo, Barbelo. Together they create Christos. This is the divine self. This is Emissary, emissary. Is that the word?
Sounds like it.
Is the emissary of Gnosis. He is the male aspect, light, and logos. He's a counterpart to Sophia. This is the son, right? So you have the mother, you have the father, which is the monad, and then you have the son, which is Christos. We then go into the other Anons, and there's a bunch of other ones, but the main one is Sophia. This is the one who fucks up. This is wisdom. This is the one who fucks up and tries to create life without her consort.
And she's the last one, so technically she's like the furthest away.
She's the youngest,
right?
Yeah. From the source.
Yeah.
She's the youngest. Yeah. I don't know if he expels all of them at once, and she's like the last that comes out, or is it like one at a time? You know what I mean? Or they might come out in pairs. But yeah, she's like, the last. She creates a demiurge, the ignorant creator of the material world, blind, arrogant, unaware of a higher spiritual reality. He thinks he's God.
And that was because she tried to be like God and create, but then she didn't do it with her consort there, so it resulted in this imbalance.
Yeah, so the I'll go into the acts. But yes, basically she tried to create life and ended up creating like a fucked up being because she didn't create with her counterpart. She tried to create it by herself because you can't create by yourself. You need your counterpart. Only God can create by himself.
Right.
The demiurge creates the Archons. These are the rulers, the angels governing the material world. And then this is then where we get humans, which is the meat bags that house the Allspark. The Divine Spark. The Allspark is Transformers. But so like if we go into the Gnostic story, you have, if they divided in kind of like 4 acts. But the first act, it's like the normal creation story. Before anything existed, there was an infinite Father. From Father emanates pairs of divine beings called Anons who dwell in the Pleroma, which is fullness. This is like space, I guess. Sophia tried to create without her consort and causes a cosmic imbalance.
But it's not space. It's like non-physical dimension.
Exactly, yeah. So it's outside, like even space, I guess, is material because that's created by the demiurge. Like whatever's outside of that like realm of darkness, like whatever's above that, they exist. They just like exist in whatever reality they live in.
Ethereal realm.
Yeah, that's a good word. Sophia tried to create without her consort, causing a cosmic imbalance. This is a quote from the Apocrypha of John. And her thought became a product resembling a lion-faced serpent.
Yeah, I always see that picture for Gnosticism.
Yeah.
I think that's what Wikipedia has as the picture.
Oh, really? That's interesting. And then the demiurge is born. We go into Act 2. To protect the cosmos from the fall of creation, Sophia tries to hide the demiurge in a cloud shrouded by light, the light of the higher Anons. Despite her attempts of concealment,
They say they put him in a cloud.
Yeah.
So do you remember?
She tried to hide him in a cloud.
And then what happened?
And then he breaks free and creates the physical world.
Okay. Remember Baal, Zeus, and Yahweh are called the rider of the clouds, the gatherer of the clouds, or the rider of the heavens.
Wow.
So then the demiurge, you're saying, was put in a cloud.
To be hidden.
And then...
Now, I didn't read the actual line in the story where he comes out of the cloud. That's just what happens in the story. You know what I mean? So I don't know how they say it. But that could be interesting. That maybe it does line up like where it says like, oh, he rode the cloud down to...
And Jesus, during this, in Revelations, I guess, or just about the Judgment Day, more so, he says, we'll see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power. So that's all 5 of them having like specific cloud, not just like Jesus, up ascending, but like a cloud.
Yeah, and they all have the same like archetype, like that hero archetype, right?
I guess Jesus is the only one that would be like an asterisk, maybe, because he's like a guy and not a god fully. But
so I have a great thing about Jesus that kind of blew my mind about this. But so the demiurge breaks free, and he starts to create the physical world. This is the prison for human souls. He said, "I am God. There is no one besides me." But in his ignorance, he did not know his source. This is hypothesis of Archons. The statement mirrors Isaiah 45:5, implying the Old Testament creator is the demiurge. I am the Lord, and there is no other. There is no other one apart from me. There is no God. I will strengthen you, through you have not acknowledged me. Isaiah. So it's like the same thing. So like it's like, remember how they say like that Old Testament God? Remember how he's kind of an asshole?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it just could be the demiurge.
Yeah, no, it's like all the shit where it makes sense why he's like moody and vindictful. Like it's not like a supreme God that wouldn't care about this little shit. He's literally like, they're not worshiping me. Flood them, like you know, like he's a little bitch. Like
exactly,
it makes it, and how it's like when you read Genesis and it's like, oh, there's like a guy walking around, like through the forest or through the trees or whatever.
And he's also like, you're saying he's a little bitch, and he's like, he's literally just like a little, like a pissed off kid. Just like, I'm God. Mm-hmm. I'm going to create. I'm going to do the thing. Yeah, no, it sounds like that. So he creates lesser rulers. This is where he creates the 12 Archons, zodiac rulers, 7 planetary governors. These are the demonic forces guarding the physical cosmos. And this is the construction of our material world. Then we get into the creation and the enslavement of Adam and Eve. So he makes Adam. The Archons make a body, but it can't move. They could not make him arise because of the power they had taken. They could not make him arise because of the power they had taken from the mother, Apocrypha of John. Sophia sends a divine spark of consciousness to him. So the Archons, the bad guys, make Adam. They can't make him move. Sophia sends the divine spark to him. Adam stands. The Archons are terrified.
Which all the shit we read, it's always like life was breathed into him, as if he was like a thing already, and then got the divine spark.
Because they say like, oh, he was made of clay, and then the breath was breathed into him,
like Wonder Woman.
He became more intelligent than they. He became more intelligent than them, and he cursed them. This is the hypothesis of the Archons, or hypostasis. Then we get into the Garden of Eden. So the paradise is actually a prison in the Gnostic test. Eden in Gnostic test is not a paradise. It's a containment zone. The garden is a prison, and the tree is the law. This is from the Gospel of Philip. Then Sophia manifests a spiritual Eve, the Eve of life, who awakens Adam. And the spirit-filled woman came to him and spoke with him. Hypothesis of John, or Archons. The demiurge creates a counterfeit Eve to deceive Adam. And then you get to the serpent. So the serpent is apparently Sophia's messenger. It's not Satan. The female spiritual principle came in the snake to teach them. That's from the same thing, the hypothesis of the Archons. So when they eat from the tree of life, this is what liberates Adam and Eve's. This like ups their awareness. So now they realize they're not naked anymore. So in the Gnostic texts, in the Apocrypha of John, nakedness has a different meaning than like the Orthodox meaning. It says when Adam and Eve's eyes opened, they realized they were naked. It wasn't about physical shame, but it was about spiritual awakening. The nakedness represents the sudden awareness of being trapped in the material bodies. What Gnostics call naked corpses, or the tomb of the body, before eating from the tree of life, the tree of knowledge. Adam had been in a state of spiritual darkness or forgetfulness, unaware that he has been imprisoned in matter by the demiurge. So that's what they say nakedness is. So like, who told you were naked? Who told you this was a prison? That's why he gets so pissed off. It's like, who told you that? Who told you this is a prison? Who told you this is my creation?
Remember the Curse of Ham story? He saw Noah's nakedness.
He saw Noah's forgetfulness, drunkenness. He's drunk off the wine.
Yeah, but what are you saying?
They're saying that in Gnosticism, the nakedness, if you realize your nakedness, it means you're opening your eyes to the prison that you're in, which is the material world.
Yeah, we got to circle back around to that one. And they sought not their father's nakedness.
That's an interesting thought, though, because that just makes sense. Because it's like shameful, yeah, but it's like, what did the snake tell you? Hey, your dick's out. Oh! It's like, no.
Because you wouldn't care if there's no other guys or girls around, too.
All that's around is the chick you're fucking all day.
Like,
so who gives a shit? Might as well be naked.
There is no big or small.
Yeah, who cares?
Dick size is relative to my dick. Like, that's what a dick size is my dick at that point.
But now you're being told you're living in paradise. And, then a snake comes and says, hey, this isn't paradise. Mm-hmm. Your God is a false God. He's created this prison. You guys are actually divine beings.
That's the Matrix.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and then Morpheus is a snake.
Yeah, exactly.
In that story,
no, exactly. Because that's what it is. Everybody thinks they're living in paradise. Oh, we live great here.
The second you said it, I was like, yeah, I do fuck with that a little bit. Where it's like, oh, and you're telling me it was a perfect golden era? Because remember, I brought that up to you, where it's like, why does the golden era line up with Saturn? Like, wouldn't those be two different things? And it's like, unless the golden era shit's a psyop, and they're just trying to get you back under Saturn.
And that's the other thing too. Remember when? I think it was in the Eddie Bravo Santos podcast where he's like, wait, so the golden eras aren't for us? And he's like, no. The golden eras are for the elites. Right, yeah. Like it was an elite golden era. It was good for them. Like our golden era was probably during this shit. And then the Vatican and all this other shit happened. And they go,
when Jesus was walking around striking people.
Exactly. And then who gets propped up in the history books? I mean, King Tut, most popular, Akhenaten, bad guy. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, no, maybe he was trying to get us on the right thing.
Yeah, it's like, how many pharaohs can you name? And the one most people can name, it's like, and what do you know about him? He's the bad one.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And maybe an alien.
Likely, I would say.
We then get into, so the Archons, pissed off, they retaliate. They cast Adam and Eve into bodies of flesh and bind them with shame, fear, desire, reincarnation, forgetfulness. They threw them into great distraction and into a life of toil, hypothesis of the Archons. And in the Archons, we pray.
What were we in if...
That's what I was thinking. I don't know. I have asterisks near to all these things where I'm like, and we'll go back to that later. Mm-hmm. But no, I was thinking the same thing because I wonder if... No, it has to be a body. Unless it's a different body.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we were like built better or something, because if everything else they did about it is bad, wouldn't making us flesh and blood be bad too?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what it says too. Is that we've been that was the other interesting thing. I mean,
were we eternal before that?
That's what I was just about to say. Because or maybe not eternal, but maybe when we died, we just
or
went
Adam
back.
Lifetime, like 1,000-year lifetime.
Yeah, and maybe when we died, we just went back to the source. It wasn't because we got we were bind with reincarnation.
Yeah, but we wouldn't just go back to the source without gnosis, right? And that was the whole thing, was that they were denied gnosis by being trapped in Eden.
I think gnosis is the realization that we're in the Matrix. And if enough people...
Right.
Yeah.
So that's when they would go back, because once they'd achieved gnosis. And if they're just dying...
Well, that's what I think they got when they ate from the tree of life. They got gnosis.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. Yeah. And then they got... Or maybe that...
But they're saying that then they hit them with reincarnation.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, how long would these people have lived? Were they on eternal life? Or... I don't... But then if they're not even a flesh and blood yet, I don't know. It's too many variables to ponder.
So now we go into Act 4. The Archons establish earthly power.
Do they say if Earth is just, like, is to them Earth is everything?
The Archons?
No, like, when they say the material realm, like, is that interchangeable with the term Earth? Like, I know they say heavenly bodies, but do they have a firmament in there?
I think material... Yeah, it's the, that's their shit. So they're still on a globe. I think. But their globe, I think, works differently to where there is still like a layer, there's a barrier. There's still because that's where I start getting fucked up too. Because apparently the globe shit gets a little fucked. Like the globe shit could be a tell that it's bullshit. Because obviously,
is that a globe or is that just?
So I think Earth is in that center there, and then as those, the planets are just like, I think, layers of realms above us.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not like that's a ring around it. If the moon is a layer above us and the Venus is a layer above us, isn't that all a firmament? Isn't that all?
I see what you're saying. Maybe that's what the behemoth is.
Because this is like a cross section of a sphere. It's not like saying that's us and then the moon's orbit. You know what I mean? Like
this could also work on a flat plane.
I think so. That's what it's kind of saying. If it's just a matter of stacked, I don't know why they would have it like that unless I guess I don't understand what any of that shit is. The Leviathan.
Okay, so the Archons establish earthly power. They give kingship, religion, and laws to rulers so humans stay ignorant. They led the people away with falsehoods, origin of the world. Came from the book. Sophia tries to send saviors. Throughout history, saviors descend. This is Seth, Enoch. Some versions are Hermes and Thoth, and then the Great Seth, which is a different person. Seth came through the seed of the great eternal aeons. Three scales of Seth. That was a cool line. These figures try to awaken humanity. The demiurge responds with floods, mud floods, wars, and counter prophets. The descendants of Christ, the descendants of Christ, and the defeat of the Archons is the next step. Christ. Okay, this blew my mind. Christ is an anon, right? He's not a physical man. Okay. Christ emits from the Father and descends through the heavens disguised. Let's restart that. Christ emanates from the Father and descends through the heavens disguised, so Archons don't detect him. Right? I, Christ, came through the midst of the Archons. None of them saw me. Second treatise of the Great Seth, that book. So Jesus, Christ wears Jesus, the man, like clothing. Christ as in Christos. So Christos...
It was Sophia's husband that wasn't there.
Her consort, yeah. So Christos comes down, the Son of God, right? Because he's the Son in the Trinity. The Son of God comes down wearing Jesus the man like clothing. He appeared in the form of a servant, though he was not. The Gospel of Philip, when he appears to somebody as Jesus, and they're like, yo, you're God. You look like a servant, looking like Jesus, just like some fucking Arab dude. Christ's true goal is awakening, not sacrifice. I've came to teach you about what was, and what will be. Gospel of Thomas. He reveals the true Father, the false Creator, the heavenly realms, the origin of the soul, the escape from the Archons. Judah is the only one who understood, like, Jesus' plan. In the Gospel of Judas, Judas, my bad. In the Gospel of Judas, Jesus tells Judas, you will sacrifice the man who bears me. Meaning you're going to go rat out this dude, Jesus.
The physical body.
You're going to sacrifice Jesus who bears me, and you're going to release me and back into the world.
Whenever you're done with your Jesus stuff, let me know before moving on, because then I'll throw my Jesus stuff in there after.
Yes. This implies that Judas actually frees Christ from his physical body trap. So Christos, like I said, is the anon. Jesus of Nazareth is the human body that Christos descends into. He appeared in the form of man. He was not. That was in the Gospel of Philip. He said that. He put on Jesus in the appearance of flesh. Second trustee of the Great Seth. This is where the idea of Christ wears Jesus like clothing comes from. You want to hear something else that fucked me up? You think about this. I put this together. So Santos talks about how, like 1,000 years after, however many hundreds and hundreds of years after Jesus, some pope last names. Nobody had last names back then. Everybody was like Jesus of Nazareth. You just took wherever the fuck you came from.
Yeah.
Some pope made it to where you had to have a last name and blah, whatever.
For your birth certificate.
Exactly, for that shit. Obviously, right?
Got to be a serial code.
Jesus Christ is the only one that's got a last name. It's like, it's just Mary, the Virgin Mary, or it's Joseph, or it's Moses, or it's like
someone of...
So he's the only one that has like, it's Jesus Christ, because it's two different fucking dudes. It's Christ in Jesus. It's Christ wearing Jesus. And I blew my own mind. I was sitting there thinking about that. And I was like, yeah, he's the only one that he's the only one that has a last name.
It's like someone saying God our Father, like double titling him. It's like Jesus and Christ.
Yes, exactly. And I could be wrong. Like there might be other people in the Bible with last names, but like it's gonna be like Jesus.
If there are, they don't get said often.
It's gonna be like Jesus of Nazareth, or it's
sounds like fucking Solomon Schwartz.
Yeah.
Solomon.
Yeah. Or exactly. Or it's just Abraham or Isaac.
It's not Abraham Rothschild. It's Abraham.
It's not Abraham, exactly. This is where
wasn't it like Abraham of Hebron or whatever that place was?
I think so. Or Abram.
At the time, yeah.
Abram of whatever, yeah. But that's what it all is. It's of so and so, or of this, of that. No one's just, hey, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if there's something to that. I'd love to message Santos and get his thought on that. So Christ enters Jesus at the baptism. Multiple Gnostic texts and even early Christian writings, like the Gospel of the Ammonites.
So you're saying Jesus wasn't born?
Jesus was just Jesus.
Or Christ wasn't born into Jesus.
Jesus was
he
a
was
righteous
baptized
human.
into him.
Jesus was a righteous human. The Anon Christ descended onto him at the baptism. When the dove appears, the Spirit became onto him, and he was endowed with perfection. The Gospel of the Hebrews.
See, it would make way more sense to me if it was born into him.
But then he's like waiting through his whole baby, like while he's a baby.
I could understand something triggering it, but a baptism, I'm like, well, what? Unless there's something missing the story.
I think it's just, well, that's what...
Because if they're saying it's just a regular baptism, I'm like, I don't get it. But if it's a baptism in like fucking...
It says it's a fragment of it in the Gospel of Hebrews. This is where it says the Spirit came onto him and he was endowed with perfection. This is when they're talking about when the Spirit came to him at the baptism. So I don't know if they're saying, because it just says he's a righteous human, which means maybe he was devout to this religion, and he was like, they know that he's like, okay, this is a good person. I'm going to come to him like during this baptism. And then I guess at some point in the Gnostic text, it sounds like Jesus is speaking as two different people, where he talks and then at some point someone else starts talking. And it just sounds like, it's like, oh, that's God.
It's like Yugi versus Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Anime has a lot of good archetypes. You can point comic books, same thing. Like,
well, I think they nail them all. Like that one, like that.
I need to ground things and things I understand.
That one show. What's the school? My Hero.
Yeah.
Those ones. When you describe the powers in that one, it was like, oh, so you just get everybody. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has, like, you get one cool thing, but you also get one thing that's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, they do that part great,
that's
where
nice.
It's like everything is balanced. Or it's like, oh yeah, this dude's strong as fuck, but then he has to like sleep for half the day because it's like the Flash thing of you got to eat so much.
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. I like that. Spirit came onto him. Then the perfect Savior appeared to them like the likeness of Seth. That was interesting. In a few texts, Christ leaves the body before the crucifixion. It was another, they struck him, I rejoiced in the height. This is from the second trustee of great Seth. That's what people said after the crucifixion. So Christ was not harmed. Some say a substitute. Some say Simon of Cyrene was crucified instead. This is the person who, when Jesus was carrying the cross and he kept dropping it, and the Romans were like, just fucking, you go help him, whatever the fuck. That could be that dude. Maybe that dude swapped out and was like, hey, JC, I got this one.
The only thing that would be fucked up about that is then it takes out other things where it's like but I thought the blood pooled up on the Ark of the Covenant, and that's like special Jesus blood. And then like, well, why would the Spear of Destiny matter?
But then you wonder also if, like, does the Gnostic stuff have an Ark of the Covenant or any of that shit, or is that just made up? Or it was like, yes.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like,
it gets weird. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you do a check on this one, then you got to X these ones.
That's why I'd like the timeline things, because then we could check this one and go, cool, get rid of that shit. And now we could just think about it this way. And then the same thing with the other one. So, like I said, Judas isn't a betrayer. Who's the only disciple that understands the plan. You will sacrifice the man that clothes me. Jesus is not the source of salvation. Christos, the Aeon, is the only true savior. Jesus is simply how Christ enters the material world without alerting the Archons, like a spiritual infiltration.
I don't really get how he can go back and forth, though, because... See, that's what I mean by it would have made more sense if he was born into it. I get that, like, we snuck one in. Again,
that's
Yu Yu Hakusho does that. Kurama does that. He's a demon on the run, and so he gets reborn. Yeah. A lady has a stillborn, and then he goes into it. And then he has to wait out the years to remain undetected.
So you don't think it's cool that that God or they're like, hey, I'm gonna send my son. He's gonna sneak through enemy lines, through all the layers of Archons.
But I thought they're saying
this guy.
No, all that's good, but I thought their way of sneaking. How come everyone else can't do it? It doesn't sound like everyone could go sneak through him. I thought the thing was
I think it's because when he gets to the world, if the Aeon's just there, they're gonna be able to tell. They're able to fuck with him. So he has to hide in a dude.
Well, then I don't get why it's like lined up with anything at that point, where it's like, well, what did he needed a baptism? Like, couldn't he have just done it? I don't get that aspect of it.
Maybe the baptism was to prove his loyalness. You know what I mean? Like you're able to go into anybody, but if you're going to go into somebody, it might as well somebody who's going to let you in and be like, yes, you are. Yes, take me over, and I'll be your servant.
So that's what I'm saying. If a baptism is something grander at this point in time, and it isn't like a guy dips your head in water, because that's what I'm pissed. I'm like, it's not like Abraham sacrificing his kid. It's not some big test like, he put his head in water. Yeah. Oh, he's really about it.
Maybe none of them can swim.
They are Hamites.
Save them. They are Hamites.
Yeah. They are black Jews. No, so that's all I'm saying is like...
No, I see what you're saying.
It feels arbitrary if it's just like... But if it is like an actual fucking ceremony, ritual thing, and it is a guy almost saying like, clear your mind and let the Spirit of God overtake you, and then literally a God's Spirit... We have to look into it,
because I don't know if they knew he was coming. Maybe they knew he was coming, and they prepped this dude. You know what I mean?
Or maybe that's just what a baptism was, where they made everyone do that, and then that was just the one that hit, because the timing was right or whatever. But...
Or it's...
their teaching said, like, we have to be ready. We have to have vessels at the ready.
Or on the smallest scale, maybe it is just like you're just kind of going in with your own sect. So, like, he's just the dude that was getting baptized at the moment, like you were saying. But, like, you're going to pick someone who's going to get baptized.
Well, I understood it when they said they picked, like, a righteous guy. Like, you vetted him out, made sure it was all good to go. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just getting hung up on, like, a baptism.
Yeah. No, it should be like
if it's like a cool thing.
They put you up on a thing and they go, now kneel before the Christ.
Yeah. And they're like going to cut your heart out if you don't wake up as Jesus. Yes. Like that's a that's like there's stakes.
Christ?
Yeah, you wake up and you have avatar eyes.
Yeah. Hey, he's in him. We got him.
That one thumbnail I did, I gave Jesus avatar
That was
eyes.
good. That was good. Oh, and I was thinking of
should be a Jesus anime.
Should be something cool. We should make it, and we should voice it. That's the big thing. We need someone to make it, and we'll voice it. The easiest part, the hardest part.
Yeah, we're like a one-man band for cartoons. We draw it, we talk it.
Christ's whole thing is that he teaches the gnosis. Christos is the signal. Jesus is the receiver. Without Jesus, Christ can never enter the human plane. Without Christ, Jesus was just a wise teacher. Together they become the Savior. This is like the core of the Gnostic cosmology or Christology. But good. What's your Jesus thing?
So when I was trying to get into the Gnostic shit, it kept the couple things I first clicked on were talking about like what Jesus was actually preaching about was like, you know how people always talk about Revelations and Judgment Day and all that shit. I always associate that with like the weirder Bible people, like more snake people when it comes to Bible. It wasn't ever something that really I remember hearing about much. So I just associate that shit with like who gives a fuck. But it said he was preaching like a cataclysmic end all event that would lead or precede that happening, this Judgment Day. So I wasn't sure if that was correct, and I wanted to make sure the website wasn't lying right away on that before I kept reading. So I looked into like, was Jesus actually teaching that? I always thought Jesus was just walking around being like, you just got to treat your neighbor good, like all that shit. Guy. I never heard Jesus walking around talking about like, and then the comet's gonna hit, like,
yeah,
because then he sounds like a dude just walking around being like a end times guy.
Exactly, it's like the world's ending soon type.
Yeah, where he's got the sandwich board on him.
But that's also like what it kind of. It sounds like that for a minute because everybody's like, oh, he says the end of the world and the what's it called with the light the rapture's coming and this all blah blah blah. It does sound like it's like an end times doomsday religion, and that's what like yeah, and that's what the
like Jehovah's shit.
Yes, exactly. I had a weird thought, super quick because it looks like you got a lot. The what if the Christ remember how I was saying like the Santos was saying once enough people get awakened, the demons through universal law or whatever the fuck it is have to be expelled. They leave, right?
Once we get like a majority.
Exactly. Once we get a majority vote, they can leave.
Because the universe is democracy, which we invented, the whites.
The whites, yeah, exactly. So if Christ returning is the awakening and of enough people so that the demons of like the lower dimensions are expelled, what if the rapture isn't like these people are bad, those people are good, so like these people are going to hell, those people, because people inherently are good, but they get corrupted by all these demons to do bad things. So the rapture would be just expelling the demons and saving humanity by awakening everybody. Because once everybody gets awakened, you're technically not like some bad person is going to be awakened and whatever.
So that's kind of overlapping with what I had. That's kind of on the same shit.
That's the tits. That's exciting.
So I don't think God creates these bad times that Jesus is preaching about. I think it's not like like when Noah's time, people were being bad. He makes the flood.
Apparently, that's the demiurge rebelling is all the bad shit.
Right. So that's God in this. Not talking about like the monad.
Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
This is like the earthly God, or the Bible's God, or whatever we want to say.
The Bible.
So he's not gonna be the one causing these cataclysms, but he knows that they're coming. So instead of letting it happen and warning like one guy like Noah last time, this time he sends Jesus down during, people being sinful, not fully like cataclysm yet, but he sends him down when shit's bad to start spreading the good word. Because he's supposed to teach the people about the word of God and that's the one true religion. Because again, like, I never have any context for the Bible. I always think of that. All the other shit I think of as like historical and like it fits together. Bible stuff, because that was what I came up with, it's like it feels on an island sometimes. So I have to remind myself that, everyone's got 50 different gods. It's not like Christianity's it's new. It's not dominating yet. Yeah. So he's walking around telling people like, oh, no, actually, like this God's the one and the world's going to end. So it doesn't sound that legit. But then he's backing it up saying, I'm going to teach all these people and then I'm going to resurrect myself, or I'll be resurrected, and then that'll prove to everyone. So it's almost like, everyone else is talking a big game. Like,
watch me do it.
Yeah. And then when he's walking around talking to people, he does compare it to the Noah story. He's like, we're getting another flood or whatever. Yeah. Another thing's going to happen. So we need to make sure But because God's going to save all of us that believe, all of us that are on board.
Yeah. We should read Revelation.
I basically did as far as.
Did you?
I mean, I got
short.
the.
Isn't it short?
I didn't read Revelation, but I got like the pertinent verses relating to this.
It's short, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just had to. I go
like
tell me every verse that has to do with this, and it was just all chunked up.
It's nice. It's like a better version of Control F.
That's how I describe it to Nick.
Yeah.
Because he's always like, it's just grabbing from Wikipedia. Yeah. I'm like, but if I put 10 books in it and say, only tell me what's in these books, then it's just Control F.
Exactly.
Synthesizing.